Robitussin should you prepare ravioli.
Welcome back. I'm Dr. Jasper VanDrayson, and I am the Afterlife Coach. Tonight, I am preparing, with the assistance of my interns, Sarah and Caden, to investigate Brownstone High School. Brownstone, an abandoned school surrounded by 4 deserted towns, left on its own to rot and slowly be reclaimed by Mother Gaia, crushed under the weight of tragedy and trickle-down economics. The towns are gone, the school remains, wrapped in its own tragedies, its own hopelessness. Say, shortwave radio to the ether, a quick text message away from the afterlife. I have told you that terror, stress, and blood make a perfect signpost pointing the way to the ethereal plane. The Brownstone has these in abundance, not only from the horrible incidents that occurred while it was a thriving beacon of higher education, but from the times after. Dark times. In October of 2008, Deputy David Z. Morgan of the State Patrol approached the school on a routine patrol. His beat often took him through the deserted townships known as Gates, Moose Run, Taylor Crossing, and Bodkinville on a routine basis. This is normally considered to be a milk run. Rarely any problems. Once in a great while, Deputy Morgan had to run off a squatter or a small group of teenagers looking for a place to drink, but this usually took place in the townships. No one seemed to approach the school very often. Nobody seems to be very comfortable in this area for very long. Deputy Morgan had mentioned it on a couple of occasions, saying that there had never been any signs of graffiti, broken windows, breaking and entering at the school. The Brownstone keeps its secrets for itself. That night, however, something out of place caught the deputy's eye. The front door to the school, which had been closed and locked all those years ago when the last person left the Brownstone, was standing wide open and swinging in the fall breeze. The deputy was concerned, radioed the State Patrol, and headed for the building, flashlight in hand, to investigate. He checked the offices, the gymnasium, the hallways, and found nothing wrong. Still, however, his unease was growing. As he proceeded down the hall to move to the lower floor, he actually began to feel a little scared. This was very unusual for Deputy Morgan, as he was an Army veteran who had seen combat in the Gulf War. As the deputy made his way from the main floor to the lower floor, his unease grew. Near the bottom of the steps, he noticed a curled-up figure laying on the floor, perhaps a vagrant or someone who shouldn't be in the building. He called out to this shape. Receiving no answer, he drew his weapon and proceeded to approach. In the flickering light of his flashlight, the deputy noted what appeared to be a puddle of blood surrounding the figure on the floor. Deputy Morgan told me that at that moment, something told him he needed to get out of that building right away. He quickly made his way up to the main doors and out to his cruiser, where he radioed in to the State Patrol to explain the situation, request an ambulance, and some additional deputies to assist at the scene. While Deputy Morgan waited, staring nervously at the shadows, the State Patrol post dispatched 4 more deputies, an ambulance, and called the closest local medical examiner to send them to the scene. They arrived 25 minutes after the initial call. Deputy Morgan refused to enter the building a second time for reasons that even he cannot adequately explain, even today. By the time the officers completed their search, a total of 13 bodies had been found. These poor souls were in various states of decay. The officers on the scene, although not definitive, felt that due to the remoteness of the location, they were dealing with a serial killer, previously unknown, who was using the school as a dumping grounds. These victims appeared, on first glance, to have nothing in common. Very diverse. Old, young. Male, female. Black, white, Asian. No common denominator. Nothing that tied them together. No sense. However, when the medical examiner completed his work in the hastily constructed morgue in the gymnasium, a terrifying fact came to light. A horrifying situation that caused everyone on the scene to hurry and finish their work at the brownstone and rush home to hold their loved ones a little bit closer. What was it? We'll tell you next time on The Afterlife Coach.